AITA for backing up my nephew for refusing cancer treatment? My nephew, 12, has cancer for the 5th time in his little life. The first time he was only 1 year old. Basically it meant that his life was and still is all about his cancer. The treatments and recovery. He hasn't been able to go to school because he might get sick and he can't do normal stuff a 12-year-old should do. Last month we found out that he has cancer again. This time it's in his brain and it's bad. The doctors said they can slow it down, but can never fully remove it because of its place. Now my nephew, after all these years of being prodded and poked, is done. He knows that he won't survive the cancer this time and he doesn't want to fight it anymore. He wants to spend the time he has left, maybe a year, with his family and doing all the stuff that he missed out on. My family was absolutely livid about his wishes and is pushing him to get the treatment, which involves a very heavy brain surgery and them basically taking a part of his brain out. We won't know how he is going to come out. My nephew absolutely doesn't want it and is done. He is even refusing to go to the hospital anymore. He wants peace and a way out. So what happened is, I backed him up. I told my family that after 12 years of fighting, that we should respect his wishes and let him go. I'm alone in this and my family is huge. And now my phone is blowing up and I'm being called every name in the book by them. But I can only think about my nephew. Edit. I want to thank you all for sharing your own stories with me. Also to the people who are just here to show support. I want to say thank you. I'm trying to read and respond to as many as I possibly can. Edit 2. Still trying to go through as many comments as possible. Some of your stories genuinely are making me cry of tear up. Thank you so much. A lot have asked me if he is going to do a Make-A-Wish, but my nephew refuses to take a wish from less fortunate kids. Make-A-Wish is a donation-based organization and we have the luck to be very fortunate ourselves. So whatever he wants to do or go to, we will make it happen for him. We don't want to take any funds from kids that need it more. Also, he would like to stress that he is not a spoiled brat. He feels very strongly about it. He, however, wants to leave a little positive mark on the world. So we are trying to figure out how to do it. In the meantime, please don't spend any money on rewards, but donate your money to any good organization you seem fit. Thank you very much for all the lovely words and the support. Each time someone contacts you, you need to just reply. You love him so much that all you can think of is your own emotional needs. But what about him? He's got a year to live. Why can't he be pain-free? It's selfish to put our needs ahead of his. Or some other version of, stop making him go through pain because you don't want to let him go, or stop being so selfish. There's not much you can do anyway. His parents will continue to push. And his doctor will refuse to treat him based on the patient's wishes and his prognosis. NTA. NTA. You are setting aside your grief and listening to him. Good for you. Brain surgery could change your nephew to a point where he is barely himself anymore. He is a brave kid. NTA. People tend to prolong the life of loved ones for selfish reasons, and don't always think about how it affects the one that suffers. I would likely be on your side here. But remember, it's a difficult thing for the parents to deal with, especially because they've all been suffering for so long. Sorry to hear your family has to go through all this. NTA. It's just choice in. My dad, after he stopped treatment, felt a massive difference after they stopped, as the treatment was leaving him tired and too achy to do anything he loved, and although it might have meant he spent a bit more time with us, the time he did have left, he spent as himself and a lot happier than he was on treatment. There's no way of knowing how long he's going to last with or without the treatment. All you can help with is how happy he is with the rest of it. No. NTA. Now is the time to live. Grief can come later. Fear can come later. Your nephew is right. Let him be alive while he's alive. He's fought long and hard. And it's time to be alive. I have a serious health condition. And I've fought it for about as long as your nephew has been fighting his cancer. It's exhausting. I'm an adult. And I can't imagine asking a child to keep going. If I were told I had an incurable brain tumor, I'd be done, too. It's okay for him to be done. I'm so sorry that this has happened to your nephew, your family, and you. All the best. NTA. I know a family who has been through the same thing, and my BFF was in your shoes. Her 12-year-old niece had been fighting cancer since she was 3. It's natural for the parents to want to fight for that 1% chance their child will be okay, but at 12, a CHD also has a right to say no. You're definitely NTA here, but no one is. I really hope that the whole family can find a way to give your nephew a meaningful last few months of life. Please allow yourself the time and mindfulness to be the joy in his life that he needs. Sending so much love and positive thoughts to you and your whole family. Heart. NTA. I'm just here to share my support for your cousin. I can't imagine staring down my own mortality at 12. And that declining treatment is the easier route versus another round of surgery, chemo, etc. For a child. I hope he packs a lot of adventure and love in his time left here. I hope he knows he is brave and strong. I hope he knows it's okay to be tired of fighting. And it's okay to want to just be a kid. I hope he feels loved and giggles and can live the rest of his life as he chooses, instead of tirelessly fighting for the adults who are struggling with this. Sending you and him lots of support and love. Please be there for him. Please remind your family that he's a kid, and he deserves to be a kid, and to make that time count. Orange Heart. NTA. While I can understand his parents and other family members wanting him to have treatment for more time, your nephew is the one who is getting the treatment, and if he says he is done and wants to make the most of what time he has, your family should respect that. NTA. People just want to do something as they perceive not doing nothing to save him as bad. You might want to suggest a different avenue of doing something instead. Encourage them to think of activities to do with him, experiences he might not have had, travel, etc. Concentrate the need to do something in spending time together and enjoying the time they have left. I agree that he should enjoy the rest of his life. Though some might be against what I am saying. He has spent 12 years of his life fighting the thing. He doesn't want to struggle anymore. His parents are just looking out for him and forcing him to get the treatment. But he has had enough of the struggle. According to me, give him the details of the treatment, what they do, how many extra years he might get, and let him decide it for himself once again. He is old enough to make his choice for this. This situation absolutely sucks for everyone. Your opinion is valid, especially as you're backing your nephew. His parents have been doing this for nearly his whole life and may need time to accept that he most likely won't survive this cancer. Honestly, nobody is in the wrong here and are all grieving this situation differently. NTA. As someone who has only had cancer twice, it has already been 2 times too many for me. Fighting cancer is hard. It's draining, and your life is literally put on hold while going through treatment. I lost so many friends because my life had to stop while theirs kept going. I cannot imagine how difficult this must be for your brother. Please continue to back him up. He has the right to make this choice for himself. NTA. Treatment won't be effective if he doesn't want it and doesn't believe it'll work. Psychology plays a bizarre role in recovery. It's not fully understood, but doctors do agree that if the patient doesn't believe they'll get better, it's less likely they will. NTA. Your nephew is amazing and brave. I'm sending him all my love. 4x. NTA. It's understandable that he wouldn't want to continue with treatments. And while it's also understandable that your family doesn't want to lose him, attacking you for supporting him is uncalled for and won't prevent what's coming. Supporting his choice doesn't mean you're any more willing to let go of him than the rest of your family. NTA. His only memories so far have been about cancer, and he wants to make his last memories of his family good ones. He has more emotional and relational maturity than many adults ever have. I also think it's important to remind the rest of your family that him choosing to not battle the cancer this time could not be an easy decision, since he knows that it will mean that he will not survive. And pushing him harder and harder to have treatment will only make him resist harder and resent them for it. It's a very heavy decision for anyone to make, much less a 12-year-old kid. And he needs all the support he can get. It's also important to remember that the rest of the family is hurting and they probably aren't thinking rationally, and calling them selfish for wanting more time with him is only going to push them away, even if it is the truth. I have never been in a situation that is remotely similar to this. But if it was me, I'd try to gently remind them that they have a small but golden window to make some lasting memories. Not only for your nephew, but for everyone else as well. And that may be the best way to help him live on, is through the lasting memories you all have the opportunity to create. I'm so sorry for your whole family having to go through this. It cannot be easy, but I hope you are all able to make something good come out of this. NTA. The family is pushing treatment for themselves, not for this poor child. This kid is look at cancer and saying, FCKU. I'm going out how I want. The ball's on this kid. Continue to back him. Nah. I considered not the a-hole. But it's such a crappy situation for everyone that I can't quite call anyone an aw. Has your nephew seen a palliative care specialist? It might be really helpful to see a doctor who specializes in symptom management and end-of-life care, and who can help deal with changing the mindset from quantity of life to quality of life. NTA's probably not only the grief in not wanting to let your nephew go. A huge part of your family's life for the last 12 years has been fighting for his life. It's being active, feeling that you can at least try to control what is happening. That is something that's in itself is hard to give up, on top of accepting that your nephew is dying. I hope they come around to putting that fighting spirit into giving him the best life experiences he can have over the next year, and making great memories for all of you. You are the most awesome uncle, auntie any kid could ever want. Please never change, dear MoonMoon. You are NTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.